Welcome to the Rewards Master. What is the best transferable currency ecosystem out there? Really, there's 6 that are what we would consider major ecosystems. There's Wells Fargo, there's Chase, there's Bilt, there's Capital One, there's American Express, and there's Citibank. Each of them have their own list of transfer partners. Each of them have all different cards, different trifectas, different setups. And so when we look at them overall, which one is the best? Which one is the worst? Today, I'm going to rank those 6 ecosystems, and this is all coming from my opinion and my own personal experience. So I'm certain that some will disagree. Please, if you do, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm always open to learn, as I hope we all should be, as we're trying to help one another maximize our points and miles. So if you would, please hit the like and subscribe button, and let's look at it together. Now, there's a lot of things to consider when it comes to these ecosystems. Some of them are strong when it comes to earnings, like they're multipliers when you use particular cards at particular vendors. So some have great dining multipliers, some have great transit multipliers, or multipliers when you purchase through their portal or directly with an airline. But then there's also things like customer service that have to be considered. There's things like what transfer partners are available to them. Are they good transfer partners? Are they easy to use? Do they have value just internationally, or do they have value domestically? So there's a whole lot of factors that go into evaluating these, and certainly I'll miss some along the way, but I've tried to consider all of those things. And so I'm going to talk about each ecosystem, and I'm going to point out what I think are good and things that are kind of lacking in that particular ecosystem. So let's dive into it and start at what I think is the number 6 ecosystem, and that is the Wells Fargo ecosystem. Now, I'm excited to finally get into the Wells Fargo ecosystem. I'm not down on them as a whole. In fact, I've applied for their cards before and was rejected, but because of this Bilt change, I'm going to be receiving, as all Bilt card holders are, my own autograph card. And I'm excited to kind of dip my toe into that ecosystem. I really want to get their Attune card. And I kind of feel bad because that Attune card will be a regular use card in my wallet if I can acquire one in the future. Because Wells Fargo, they have great multipliers on their cards. I mean, great. The autograph card is a no annual fee card with access to transfer partners, which is not true in some of the ecosystems. Some of them, you have to have a $95 or more annual fee card to be able to have access to move your points for high value to their transfer partners. Not so with Wells Fargo. You can do it with just the autograph card. Their autograph journey card is a very good card. I mean, it's got some 5X and 4X and 3X multipliers that are great. And then that Attune card, I mean, it's odd, it's kind of quirky, but it has 4X categories on a lot of stuff like haircuts and going to the movies and entertainment and stuff like that. It's just a lifestyle card. That's very, very good. But why do I put them at number 6? Well, they have a very, very limited set of transfer partners. It's just a very short list. Now, you can get your points transferred into every one of the major airline alliances. So you can transfer over for Star Alliance, you can transfer over into the One World, you can transfer over into the Sky Team, but your options are just very limited to do that. So because of that, if they get more transfer partners, they're definitely going to rise up on the list. But I have to put them at number 6. At number 5 is an ecosystem that some people are definitely going to disagree. I mean, this is going to fill up the comments below this video. I just know it. And in the past, I would not have put them at number 5. They would have been much higher on the list. But I have to put at number 5 Chase and the Chase ecosystem. I know some are going to argue, and it's all about Hyatt. But here's the thing. Chase is not what it used to be. They are no longer the ecosystem where as long as you stay under 524, you're guaranteed to be able to just rack up points through sign-up bonuses, particularly through ink cards. They've shut that down. the data points are telling us they are not allowing that kind of thing anymore. I mean, you can only have one, maybe two, maybe three ink cards, and then that's over. We're used to, you could just churn those things and churn those things and churn those things. And then even on their Sapphire cards, they're instituting things like pop-up jail, and they're instituting like lifetime language. They're making it hard to get their cards and to earn ultimate reward points. And then on top of that, their cards have never been the best earners on multipliers. I mean, they were great because you could get a lot of ultimate reward points, but that's ending, and it's ending fast. I mean, it is that train is screeching to a halt. And so Chase, well, when it comes even to their transfer partners, I would argue they don't have the best list. I mean, yes, they have Hyatt, but it's a very short list. It's not as short as Wells Fargo, but it's pretty much shorter than everybody else's. And they do have some good ones like Aeroplan, but their domestic partners are like United, and Southwest, which is just not good. And so, especially when it comes to cent per point value. So overall, I think Chase, they have their reserve card, and yes, you can get into their Sapphire lounges and all that. But a lot of the changes they made to the reserve card, it's $7.95. It's got really difficult credits for average people who don't live in a major city to use. You've got the edit credit, and those are expensive hotels. You've got their dining credit, has like 150 total restaurants in the U.S. on it. I mean, what are most people supposed to do who don't live in major cities? So I just think that if I'm honest about it, the Chase ecosystem just has fallen. And I'm telling you, if Wells Fargo adds just a few transfer partners, in my opinion, they'll surpass Chase, because Chase, all the things that made it what people love, except for Hyatt, all those things are just fallen by the wayside. And I put them at number 5. Number 4, I would say Capital One. Now, Capital One has some real positives. Their Venture X card is just fantastic. It's only $395. It's easy to get your value back through their travel credit, through the portal, and also through their points boost once a year, 10,000 points you get on your anniversary. That makes it easily a wash, and it gives 2x on everything. So it's your top level, what we call a travel card, that's also a catch-all card. So it actually gets used. It gets carried around, which is kind of a neat thing. They've got a decent list of transfer partners, though no powerful domestic transfer partner. But they've got a good list, including Aeroplan again, and of course Air France and all of these. I mean, it's British Airways. I mean, they've got a good list. You can even do Japan Airlines now, although that's a ding because it's not a one-to-one transfer. So all of that is pretty good, but there are some downsides as well. First of all, they've been nerfing some things lately, like their lounge access, and I kind of see financially why they have to, even though I don't like it. It does kind of make sense. But the other thing is, it's really hard to get Capital One cards. I mean, they are, for people like, I think most of my audience who are deep into this game and have lots and lots of cards and probably have a decent credit score, and you'd like to churn cards from time to time. I mean, they just don't like us. They don't want this kind of people in their ecosystem. They want people who might carry a balance. They want people who, are going to rely upon them and not just use them as a single part of their overall credit card setup. And to me, that's definitely a downside. So overall, I think Capital One is not bad, not in any stretch of the imagination, but I would say that they're in the 4th spot. In the 3rd spot is an ecosystem that I think can rise to the very top very easily, very quickly, but they're just not there yet. And that is the Bilt ecosystem. Bilt has some awesome things. It's always had the rent. You could put it on the Bilt card. You didn't have to pay a fee, and you're earning points on something you got to buy anyway, which is great. Now they're going to add mortgages, and they've promised that. They've said it works for every mortgage. That is outstanding. So that is just great. The second thing is they have the best, I think overall the best. Now it just barely itches out one of the others, but it is the best list of transfer partners because they have the Hyatt that we mentioned that Chase has, which is one of the best hotel transfer partners. And they have Alaska, which is probably the very best airline transfer partner. So that's all going great for them. So why wouldn't they be number 1 on this list? Well, because they have one, count them, one credit card. There is no trifecta. There is no duo that can be accomplished. And the earnings on that card, besides being able to do it for rent and then ultimately for mortgage, and I know they're coming out with 3 different cards, but have you seen what those cards are supposed to look like from the emails that they sent earlier? I mean, if it's any of those 6 possibilities, there were 2 that were no annual fee, there were 2 that were $95, and there were 2 that were $495. And only one I liked at all was one of the no annual fee versions. The other versions were like, this doesn't bring any value to my wallet. First of all, the credits are weird, like, gyms and Bilt dining. Well, there's not a Bilt dining restaurant anywhere near me, and that would be true of that's another one of those things that's kind of centric to people who live in big cities. So when I look at all of that, those credits don't make much difference, and then the earnings aren't very good. I mean, what they're telling us they're going to put out is not going to beat any card in my wallet in any single category. So I already have a card in every category that does better on that category than anything any of the Bilt cards can give me. The only one that I'm kind of excited about is if they do have a no annual fee card that has 1.5x on everything. That'll probably become, because of the value of Alaska points, that would probably become my catch-all card. But besides that, the rest is just not exciting at all. So that's what drags them down. Great transfer partners can earn on rent and mortgage. That's great. But their cards, their earnings, it's impossible to rack up lots and lots of points except through rent and mortgage. So that puts them, in my opinion, at number 3 on the list. Number 2 on the list is American Express membership rewards points. American Express has some great cards, and some of the great things about them is they do have really good multipliers in certain categories, particularly dining and grocery with the gold card. The other thing that's great about American Express is you can get lots of points. I know they have once in a lifetime language, but they often will say that if you've had those cards before, they'll send you offers that are no lifetime language offers. And there are just lots of ways to work with American Express and really rack up lots and lots of points. They're good on retention bonuses, all sorts of stuff. So when it comes to American Express, they've got some great things about it. They have the longest list of transfer partners. They're very good. I mean, they don't have a really good domestic one because they have Delta, which their points aren't worth very much, so I wouldn't transfer to them generally. But when it comes to their overseas partners, they have a great list of those. Very long, very extensive. They have Marriott and Hilton. That's not all that great in the hotel world because of the value that you can get. But still, great transfer partners. You can rack up lots and lots and lots of points. In fact, I don't know hardly anybody deep in the credit card points and miles hobby that doesn't rack up more American Express membership reward points than any other currency every year, because you can do that with them, and you can do it consistently, which is outstanding. Now, when it comes to negatives, really high annual fees. I mean, compared to everybody else, really high. So now Chase is trying to catch them, but for the most part, American Express still has the crown when it comes to expense as far as annual fees. The other thing is that, as we said, they don't really have a good domestic transfer partner, so that kind of pulls them down a little bit. But overall, I would still say they're my second favorite. They're my secondary ecosystem that I really rely on to get lots and lots of points, and I think a lot of folks are that way as well. So to me, they have to go at number 2, which brings us to the number 1 on my list, and that is Citi thank you points. Now, I know this probably doesn't surprise anybody who watches my channel, but I still, I also love Bilt and I also love American Express, but just objectively, and I try to sit back and be honest with it, objectively, Citi points are just so valuable now that they've added American Airlines as a transfer partner. They also have iPreferred, which I'm telling you, you'll get now they don't have as big a footprint, but you'll get just as much value from iPreferred, if not more, than you will with Hyatt, with Chase or Bilt. They are outstanding redemptions. They have a fantastic list of transfer partners. And I would argue, because of American, they just are right under Bilt as the best list of transfer partners. Now, the reason that I still put them at number 1, though, is just so many cards with fantastic multipliers. I mean, you can, because of custom caches, you can get several of those, and it takes a little bit of effort to do it. You can't get them all at once. But if you get custom caches, you're getting 5x, 5x, 5x in so many different categories. They're basic cards, the ones that give you access to transfer partners, like the Premier card at $95, the Elite card at $5.95. Those cards have great multipliers. I mean, 3x on so many different things with the Premier card, and then 3x on dining and 6x on dining 2 nights of the week with the Elite card. I mean, it is a fantastic, fantastic ecosystem. Now, what about the downsides? Well, I have to look at this, and I'm going to tell you that my experience is very different than the common wisdom that is kind of spouted everywhere on YouTube and in the credit card points and miles world, because everybody says they have terrible customer service. I'm going to tell you, and I'm saying this honestly, I have not had any bad customer service from Citi, and I've been a customer for many, many years. I've had great customer service experiences, but it's because I've had the Citi Prestige card and now the Elite card. Those have a dedicated number that you can call for customer service. And it seems like if you have one of their top level cards, you get a different level of customer service. So I guess I'm going to make that neutral. So either you get really bad customer service, apparently that's what other people report. But if you have one of their top level cards, my experience, and this has been true of everybody I've talked to that has one, it's really good customer service. So what does that balance out to? Neutral. It's just customer service. So that, to me, doesn't ding them down the list. Now, you could say that a downside of Citi cards is they don't have as many sign-up bonuses available, because on a lot of their cards, the sign-up bonuses are pretty small. And some people say they have trouble getting Citi cards. I really haven't ever had that problem, but some people do. So those could be potentially some negatives. However, I think overall, when you figure how easy it is to earn on spending with Citi through their fantastic cards, and also how their transfer partners are so very, very valuable. To me, overall, they take the crown as the very best ecosystem now at the end of 2025. Well, I know that this video is not going to sit well with some people, because you're going to be a fan of one of the others, American Express, or a lot of people are big fans of Chase. Tell me where I'm wrong down below. Tell me where I missed it. And you probably will have some good points, but I'm simply trying to evaluate overall the ecosystem. How are they looking at this point in time? Not in the past, not potentially in the future, but at this point in the time. And that's the list that I came up with. Thank you for watching today. If you would, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you here next time.